Hello everyone, this is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Tech Journey with Ankit. In today's video, we will discuss how we can post a message on the LinkedIn from the Salesforce by using the screen flow. We will be integrating the two external system, LinkedIn as well as the Salesforce by using the OAuth 2.0 authorization, and also we will see how we can use out of the box without writing a single line of a code post a message on the LinkedIn by using the screen flow. So what all different things that you will be learning in the today's session, we will discover how we can connect two external systems by using the name credential as well as the external credential, and here we will be integrating the two systems by using the OAuth 2.0. Next thing that we'll be discussing here is how to make the callouts from the flow. So we'll be doing the two callouts from the flow. One is by doing the get request and second one is by using the post request so that we can post a message from the Salesforce to the LinkedIn. So what all different steps that we have to follow if we have to go and implement this integration. So first thing that we have to do here is we have to go and create a LinkedIn app. The prerequisite for this here is you should have a LinkedIn page created. After that, the rest of the things we have to do it on the Salesforce. So we have to go and create the authentication provider. We have to go and create the external credential. We have to go and create the name credential. And in the end, we will be creating the screen flow to post the message. So let's get started by creating the LinkedIn app. To create the LinkedIn app, it's very simple. You have to navigate to the Google and here you have to search for the LinkedIn developers. And here you will be landed up on the LinkedIn developer solutions page. Make sure that you are logged in with your LinkedIn account here, and after that here you have to navigate to the my app. Basically we are creating a connected app on the LinkedIn here to do the OAuth 2.0 authentication. So here you will go and take the option of create a app. You can give any app name. Let me put the app name here as LinkedIn LinkedIn post using screen flow. You can give any name, it's completely up to you. Right after that, the next thing that you have to do here is the mandatory part here is the mandatory part here is you have to go and specify the LinkedIn page. In case you guys don't have a LinkedIn page, it's very easy again to create a LinkedIn page. In the Google, just type the create LinkedIn page, and from here you can go and create the LinkedIn page. I already have my LinkedIn page available with the name of Tech Journey with Ankit, so I'll be using that. But in case you guys don't have, simply go and create the LinkedIn page by clicking on this one simple button. There is a video also that the LinkedIn have provided how to create the LinkedIn page. So here I am selecting my LinkedIn page. You guys can also do the same once you have created your own LinkedIn page as well. So here I am putting Tech Journey with Ankit. The request here is create your LinkedIn page. Don't use this page because whatever the page that you will be providing here, the LinkedIn will use the authentication mechanism from this page. So make sure that you are providing your own page here. After that, you have to go and upload the logo. Again, you can go and upload any logo. You can even upload your page as well. Only prerequisite here is the dimension should be at least 100 pixel. So you have to make sure that you are meeting that prerequisite. Here I am uploading the logo of Take Journey with Ankit. The next thing here is you have to go and accept the legal agreement, and that's it, your app will be ready. So what all different things will be provided once your app is ready? Again, if you navigate to the settings part here, sorry, to the auth part, you will have the client ID as well as the client secret. Now to define what all different scopes should be applicable for the integration, here you have to go and subscribe to the different products that LinkedIn is offering. So here I am subscribing to the product that is share on LinkedIn. The reason I am doing this because I need to post a message on the LinkedIn. For that, I am requesting the access for this product. And the next thing here is I need to also perform the sign in before I post the message. So I am also requesting the access for the LinkedIn sign in, and this time we'll be doing this integration with the OpenID Connect. So here again I am requesting this access as well and taking the option of request access. Right, based on the access that you have selected, the different scopes will be available to you. Again, in case the scopes are not visible, let's go and refresh the page so that we can see the different scopes that are available to us. Here you can see that now I do have these 4 scopes available to me. Now the next thing that we have to do here is once my LinkedIn page is ready, once my LinkedIn app is ready, we have to go and authenticate it. Unless and until we are not authenticating the page, again the application will not work. So come here, click on the verify. Here it will generate one URL for you. Take the option of generate URL, copy this URL, paste it in the new window, so that you have to go and authorize it. So I'm pasting this window here and clicking on verify. Right now, the authorization part is also completed and I have authenticated my URL as well. Now again, if I go and refresh this, it will show me that this particular page is verified. This particular page is ratified. So that's what we have done here. We got the client ID as well as the client secret. The next thing that we have to do here is we have to go here and uh, create the authentication provider on the Salesforce. To do that, let's navigate to the Salesforce and from the setup, search for the auth provider. So here I am typing auth provider, and here we will be creating the auth provider for the LinkedIn. Here I go, click on new. From the provider type, I am selecting the LinkedIn here because I need to connect with the LinkedIn. Here under the name, you can put any name. Let me put the name LinkedIn for now. Right, suffix I am putting the same. Now the consumer key as well as the consumer secret key, you have to put the same keys that you have received from your connected app that you have created. So I am copying this consumer key here and pasting it here. Similarly, here I go and copy my secret key and pasting it here as well. So what I have done, I have copied my consumer key as well as the consumer secret key. After that, to get the authorization endpoint URL and the token endpoint URL, it is already showing you by default. You can keep as is, or in case you want to refer the documentation, on the documentation also, from here you can also go and check what should be the authorization key as well as the authentication key. So let me show you how to validate this, so that in case you guys are doing it for some other integration, you guys will get a fair idea. The best part to learn the integration here is you guys have to understand the documentations for them. Right, so here again, if you expand this, if you expand the development part, here they have put how you can go and perform the authentication. So here I am navigating to the authorization code flow 3-legged OAuth, because we are doing the integration by using the OAuth 2.0. And here if you scroll down, right here they have provided what all the different authorization link as well as the access token link that you want to use. If you want, you can also copy the same link from here and paste it here. Similarly, if you want, you can also go and paste the link for the token as well. Again, if you scroll down, you will get the link for the access token as well. Right, we simply have to go and paste those links. Now the very important part here is, here we have to go and define the scopes. The scopes will define what all different things that you can do on this particular app. Again, to have the scopes, what I need to do here is I need to navigate to the auth tab here, and here all the scopes are listed. So whatever the scopes which are available here, we have to go and define all these scopes separated by the space. So first I am putting the open ID, putting a space after it. The next scope here is the profile. Here I am putting the profile, again putting the space. The next scope here is the W member social. I am putting that as well, again putting the space. And in the last, I am putting the scope here as the email. So this is how I have defined all the 4 scopes here. Now the job of my authentication provider is done. The key thing here is I need to specify the consumer key as well as the consumer secret key, and also define the scopes here as well. Let me go and save this. Once you save the authentication provider, folks, you will get here the callback URL. Now this callback URL, you have to get this copied from here. Again, come back to your LinkedIn application, and here you have to go and add that callback URL. So this is the endpoint where which will be navigated once the authentication has been done successfully. So what I am doing up here is, here I am providing that callback URL and clicking on update and clicking on update. So now we have created the auth provider as well. So the first 2 steps are completed. As we discussed, we have created the LinkedIn app, and also we have created the authentication provider, and we have set the callback URL in the LinkedIn app as well. Now the next thing that we will be doing here is we will be creating the external credential. To create the external credential, come here, type the name credential, because now the Salesforce have introduced the new way to define the credential. You can also do that with the legacy approach as well, but it's always better to learn the new things. So we will do this with the external credential approach. So navigate to the external credential app, click on new, and create the external credential here. Again, I am giving the name here as LinkedIn. Always try to give more logical names so that in case you guys will be revisiting, it will be easy for you to understand. Again, what kind of authentication that we'll be using here? We will be going here for the OAuth 2.0. So here I am selecting the OAuth 2.0. I am keeping the flow type as the browser flow only and moving to the authentication provider. This is the authentication provider that just now we have created. I am selecting that authentication provider and clicking on save. So what I have done here is I have created my external credential. After that, the next thing that we have to do here is we have to go and add the name principal under the external credential. For that, you can see there, here we do have the principal as well. So here if I go and click on new, here you can go and add the principal. Let me put the principal name. You can give anything. I am putting the name as an admin and define the identity type here as the name principal. And go here and click on save. Go here and click on save. So this is how I have defined the principal as well. Now the next thing that I am doing up here is with the help of permission set, I am extending the access of this principal to the users. So again, from the setup menu, I am navigating to the permission set. You guys can use any existing permission sets as well, or you guys can create the new permission set. Here I am creating the new permission set, and let me give the permission set name here as LinkedIn uh, Callout access, right? And here I go and click on save. Now from here you guys can go and extend the external credential access. So here you can see that we do have the external credential principal access. Go ahead, click here and add that access here by clicking on the edit button. This is the LinkedIn admin principal that we have created. So here I am extending that access. Now the same access I am assigning to the user as well. So for that I am clicking on this manage assignment button and adding the assignment as well. So by clicking on the add assignment, I can go and add the assignment to the user. So here I am selecting the user, clicking on next and clicking on assign. This is how I have extended the external credential access to the user. Now the external credential part is also done. We have created the external credential, we have added the name principal, and also we have extended the access using the permission set. Now the next thing that we have to do here is we have to go here and create the name credential. So here I'll go, I'll look for the name credential. Again, here I go and click on new. You can give any name. Here I am giving the name as LinkedIn name credential. That's fine. You can use the same label as well as the same name from the URL. Now to which endpoint we have to make the connection. So what all different connections that we have to do here. Here we have to perform the connection. Again, let me go back, navigate to the products. We have to share the post on the LinkedIn, and also we have, again, for sharing the post, the prerequisite here is we should be able to log in into the OpenID Connect. So if I go and open any of the doc, the common endpoint that we have to connect for both the request, and if I scroll down, the common endpoint that we have to connect here is the api.linkedin.com. So what I am doing up here is from here, I am copying this endpoint and putting it here in the URL, because this is the endpoint, and from this endpoint I need to go and connect to this particular resource. So here I'm only keeping the endpoint for now, right? External credential, the external credential with the name of LinkedIn, that's what we have created, and here I go and clicked on save. Now whenever we have to perform this integration, right, if you navigate to the another integration that we have to perform, that is share on the LinkedIn, there is one important header that we have to set. Again, I'm not doing anything additional, I'm simply following the documentation here, and from the documentation only I'm showing you, right? What they are saying here is in case we have to perform the share on the LinkedIn, you're supposed to have one header with the name of X rest li protocol version, and this should be the value. So what I am doing up here is I will go here and add that header as well. So on my name credential, here you can see that we do have the provision to define the custom header. So here I go and put the custom header, and also I am putting here the value for that header as well, that is 2.0.0. right? And clicking on save. So my external credential is ready as well as my headers are also ready. Now the next thing that I need to do here is I am again navigating back to my external credential and I am authenticating my principal, right? So I am opening the external credential one more time, the external credential that I have created previously. Once your authentication is ready and you have assigned the correct permission set as well, here you can see that as of now the authentication status here is not configured. Here I am making it authenticated. So for that, click here and take the option of authenticate. If all the configuration is correct, right, it will ask you to put the username as well as the password, and here you have to go and sign in and give the appropriate access to the application to perform the authentication. Here I go and clicked on allow. Now the two apps are successfully authenticated, and by using the name credential as well as the external credential, here you can see that the credentials are authenticated and they are ready to use now. So my prerequisite part is completed. I have defined the name credential, I have defined the external credential, and also I have created the authentication providers as well. Now the next thing that we have to do here is, in the last, we have to go and design our screen flow. For that, I am searching here for the flows and taking the option of new flow and taking the option of new flow here. Now what all different things that we have to do in the flow? We have to add the screen element to accept the post message. So let's go all this, we'll do all these things one after the other so that you guys will get a better clarity. So here I am creating the screen flow. On my screen flow, I am adding one screen with the help of which we can take the message from the user. So here I am putting the screen label as enter post for LinkedIn, right? And let me go and configure the footer here. I don't need the pause button, so I'm hiding the pause. I don't need the previous button, I'm hiding the previous. And here I am changing the custom label here as post, right? And here I am changing the custom label as post. Now on this flow, on this screen, I am adding one long text area so that a post can be written here. Again, I am giving the label here as the post message. Whatever the message that user have to post, user can write down that message here and click on the post button. If you want, you can make it as a required, but that's not mandatory for now. So let me go here and click on done, right? So that is the first thing. Whatever the message that user have entered, we can post that message, right? Now before we go and try to implement the APIs for posting, so this is our API for the posting, that is share on LinkedIn. If I go to this API, let's try to understand what is this API first. So we already discussed, this is the header that we have to set. Sorry, this is the, where is the header detail? Okay, if I scroll down, this is the header that we have to set. We have to send here the post request. Whenever we are dealing with the post request, we have to we have the body, request body, and also we do have the response as well, right? This is the endpoint on which we have to send the post request. This is my body. Again, here the first thing is the author. The author, we can get it from the another API that is sign in with the LinkedIn. So before we go and call this API, we have to make another call out with the help of which we will be getting the author details. And once we have the author details, we have to go and prepare our request, something like this. They have given a sample text as well. We have to go and prepare our request something like this, where we have to pass the author details, right? Where we have to put the life cycle state, all these different things. And here we will be passing our post message as well. Again, these are all few enums that we have to make sure that we are using it in the exact same way. Again, we will do this step by step. So the first thing, as we understand here, if we have to perform this integration, we have to get the authentication, we have to get the login ID detail. So for that, I'm navigating to the another API, that is the OpenID Connect API. Now in this API, what all different things are required? Again, if I scroll down, to get the authentication details, they're asking us to make an request on this endpoint, and here we have to send the get request. What we will be getting in response, we will be getting this kind of a sample body in response. So let's try this out whether it is coming up as expected or not. So again, coming back to my name credential, sorry, again coming back to my flows one more time. Let me go and close the unwanted screens for time being. And here I go and add the action element, because now I need to make a call out. To make a call out, we can do that by using the action. And here I am taking the option of create HTTP call out. Here you can provide any name to the call out. Again, at the back end, what the flow will do, flow will go and create the external service for you, whatever the name that you are providing here. So here I am putting the call out name here as sign in on Lion KED and sign in on LinkedIn. This is the name that I am giving, and for that I am selecting the name credential that we have created. This is the name credential that we have created, and here I go and click on next. Here you can go and put the label. Here I am putting the label as sign in on LinkedIn. The method that we have to select as per the documentation, the method that I need to go and select here is the get method. So here I go and select the get. Now what is the URL that I need to specify? We have already defined the base endpoint here. Now I need to go and specify the resource, that is /v2/user info. So here I go and specify that URL path as well. That is the /v2 as well as the /user info. Again, this API request does not require any query parameter, so we can move forward now. Again, there are two examples how you want to get the request, whether you want to connect with the schema or go for the example response. You can go with either of this approach because we also have the response with us. This is the dummy response that they have shared with us. You can also use this response, or you can also go for the connect with schema. Here I prefer to go for the connect with schema because it will also help me to identify whether the connection goes successful or not. So here I go and click on next. Here you can again put the same description. LinkedIn sign in response, and here I go and clicked on the connect. Here you can see that we are getting all those fields from the LinkedIn app. We do have the sub, email, verified name, all those details are available here. So that means our get request is going as expected, and here I go and clicked on save. Here I go and clicked on save. Now my new action is ready. You can give a label to the new action. Here I am giving the label as sign in on LinkedIn. And here I go and clicked on done. Now whenever we make any API calls with respect to the get, right, how to identify whether the API call is successful or not? By checking the response code. So whenever we are sharing the get request, to identify whether the request is successful or not, by checking the response code of that request. So what I am doing up here is, here I put the decision element to validate whether the response is successful or not, right? So here I am checking that is sign in successful, right? Here I am checking whether the sign in is successful or not. And here there can be two outcome, that is the sign in success, and another outcome can be the sign in is failure. Sign in is failure. There can be two outcome, either it can be success or it can be failure. Again, I will do the error handling all together in the last. Let's assume that the sign in is successful. So how to identify the sign in is successful? Whenever we are getting the response code value as 200, we can say that my operation is successful. We can say that my operation is successful, right? And once the operation is successful, the next thing that we have to do here is, once the operation is successful, the next thing that we have to do here is, I need to go and figure it out whether I can post the message or not. And for that, let me go and close this. Now I'll be making another API call to post the message. Once the sign in is successful, I got my ID. Now it is very easy for me to go and post the message. So again, I am creating another action, and this time this action will be to make the HTTP call out with the post request. So here I go and put the name as post on LinkedIn. Sorry, there should not be any space here. So here I am putting the post on LinkedIn, and again selecting the same name credential, clicking on next, putting the label here as post on LinkedIn, selecting the method here as the post, putting the URL path. Now for the posting, what is the URL path? So here again I am navigating to the share on the LinkedIn and check what is the path that I need to go and specify here. For the posting, this is the URL path that we have to give, that is the /v2 /UGC post. So here I go and put that URL path here. Again, there is no query parameter required. My method I already set to post, clicking on next. Now here it will ask me to paste the sample request, right? So here I am putting the request for LINKE post, right? Again, if you follow the documentation, they have given you the sample request that you have to send. So what I am doing here, I am simply copying this request from here and pasting it here, right? I'm simply copying this request from there and pasting it here, and let me go here and click on review. Here you can see that whatever the details that I have pasted here, it is automatically pass and create the appropriate data structure for that request. Let me go and move next. Now the next thing, again it will check how to access the sample response. So again I am selecting the connect for schema. Moving on next, it is sending this request body, but again in this request body, this kind of an ID, I'm not sure whether it is valid or not. So let's go and check whether it will return you the correct ID or not here. Again, here you can see that this ID, as I said, I'm not sure it is valid or not. So we cannot go here for connect with schema. So what we will do here is, I know that the kind of a response that we are getting up here, it is in the form of ID comma string, because I have done that previously. I have tested that with the help of Postman. So I do have a knowledge. So here I am providing the sample response by myself. In the sample response, here I am putting the ID followed by the, so let me put this ID here, something like this, and followed by the some string. That's what I am providing my own sample response. Again, in the documentation, I checked that, but they have not shared any sample response that they are sharing. They have only shared that whenever the operation is successful, they are sending the response code here as 201 created, but they are not shared that what will be available in the form of response. They have given the response for the other things, right? But not for this particular text message. That's fine. Uh, that's completely fine, because in case you guys test this on the Postman, you will automatically understand what kind of sample response that you will be getting up here. So here, if you go and click on the review, this is the sample data structure that is created, right? So in case you guys are not familiar, make sure that you guys are typing this kind of a sample response by yourself and have this data structure ready and clicking on save. So my post request is also ready now. So let me go and define here the label for this. So here I am putting the label as post on the LinkedIn, and this is the external service. Now here for posting, we have to go and specify the request body as well. So as of now, the request is not created, so we'll be going and creating the request body here. So for that, clicking on the new resource, make sure that automatically the Apex class, which is having underscore in underscore body in the end, must be selected here. This is how you have to go and select the Apex define, because whenever you are creating any external services from the flow, at the back end Salesforce is writing down the invocable actions for you. So make sure that you are using this Apex defined actions here, and here I am putting the API name as uh, LinkedIn request body. Okay, LinkedIn request body, and here I go and clicked on save and clicked on done and clicked on done. Now what all different things that I need to do here is, my this part is ready. I'm getting the signed in. Again, I am getting the post request as well. Like after the sign in, I'm checking that if the sign in is successful. Similarly, after the post request also, I need to go and check if my post operation is successful or not. So again, I am using the decision element here and checking that is post on LinkedIn successful. And again, there will be two outcome, right? First is operation is success, and another one here is operation is having the error. How to identify the operation is success? As I mentioned here, to identify the operation is successful or not, here it will be returning the response code as 201. So what I will be checking up here is from my LinkedIn post, that is output from the post on LinkedIn, right? The kind of a response code that I am getting here, sorry, I'm putting the correct one, let me go and check. from my LinkedIn post, the kind of a response code that I am getting here is equal to 201 is equal to 201. What we have done previously we have tested, not sure, here we have tested if the response code that we are getting is 200, because for the get the response code is 200 and here the response code is 201. That in case we are getting the success operation, what I want to do here is on my screen I want to put the success message. So here I go and put the success message on the screen, and here I am putting the display text, that is uh, success post message, and here I am typing the text as uh, post on LinkedIn is successful. Post on the LinkedIn is successful. If you want, you can put this in between, increase the font size, all these things you can do from here. Let me go and correct the LinkedIn spell, right? That's it. Post on the LinkedIn is successful. And in case we are getting any error, so error handling is the part that is left. I will take care of this error handling now, and after that I will come back to the next very important point that we have to work on. So where at what all different places we can get the error. In case this operation is failed, we can get an error. In case this operation is failed, we can get an error, right? Similarly, in case any error is happening, again we have to show the error screen. So what I am doing up here is to take care of the error handling. I am defining here the fault path, and under the fault path here I am putting one screen, and on that screen I am putting the fault message. So here I put the screen as, let's say, error screen, and on this screen here I am displaying the error message. So here I go and put the error message. Let me take out that additional space. And how to access that error message? That error message will always be available in the global variable flow followed by the fault message. This is how we can access that error message. Again, I am putting this into the center, increasing the font. If you want, you can always change the size as an alert. That's how you can go and populate that error message detail. Now at the remaining places, I am simply connecting this to the fault path. So here I go and adding the fault path here as well, because here also there is a possibility of getting an error, and here I go and connect to the element, that is my error element screen. So at anywhere we are getting that error message, I am putting that under the fault path. Here also there is a possibility of getting an error. In case I am again getting an error here, in case my operation is not successful, again I am putting that under the fault path. And here also, in case the operation is not successful, again I am connecting this to the element. Sorry, let me go and move this up. So here again, if the operation is not successful, I am connecting this to the element. Not sure, it's a bit slow. Yeah, and connecting this to the same error screen. So we have taken care of the error handling as well. Now only part that is very important that is pending here is we have to go and prepare the request body. As of now, we are not sharing any request body. What all the different details that we have to pass to the request body. So we have to make sure that we are creating this request body before posting the message. How to do that? So before you go and make a post API call, the next before that you go and make the post API call, you have to go and define your request body. So to do that, what I am doing here is I am using this assignment operator and populating all those fields under that assignment operator one after the other. So here I go and put request message. So let me go and put this as a correct name, request message, and here I need to go and set the body. Again, while setting the body, make sure that you are populating all those details as it is expected here. So the first thing that they are expecting here, again the sequence doesn't matter, but the kind of a data that you have to populate here is matter. So the kind of a request kind of an author ID that we are getting from my sign in request. Here if you go and check, I am getting this kind of a sign in request which will look something like this. But again, whenever I am sending the author, I need to get this appended with this additional thing followed by the kind of a response that I am getting. So how we will do that? So let's go and try to understand this by the implementation. So here I am populating the first request variable, that is my in the LinkedIn request body. The first variable that I am populating here is the author. My author value is equal to, again I need to prepare this value dynamically. So here I am creating the new resource, and the resource type here, it is going to be the formula. So the formula that I need to go and prepare here is the login ID. You can give any name, that's completely fine. And how, what my login ID will return, it will return me the text. So what kind of login ID is expected? This kind of a login ID is expected. So I'm simply copying this sample one from here, and later I will go and make some edit here, right? So definitely I need this value in the first, but after that the next thing that I should be getting up here, it should be coming up from my login request, right? So I am inserting the resource. Okay, before I go and insert the resource, to perform the concatenation, here we do have this concatenate operator. So make sure that after you are an li person, you are using this concatenation operator, and then you are inserting the resource. So from the output sign in, what you are getting up here is the field, that is the sub, where you do have your login id details. So this is how you will be preparing the login id dynamically. And here I go and clicked on done. Here I go and clicked on done. So the first part that I have added here is the author. Now the next thing that I need to go and added here is the life cycle state. So here again I go navigate to the add assignment. Under my request body, the next thing that I am adding here is the life cycle state and putting up here as a publish. Make sure that you guys are putting up in the exact same case, because internally they are defined as the enums. Now, the third thing that I need to get added here is the what is the text that I need to go and put. That is where I need to go and populate whatever the input that user have done. So here I need to go and populate this text. So how to access it? To access that text, you have to navigate to the specific content.com followed by the share commentary. So again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm navigating here followed by the specific content followed by the .com followed by the share commentary, and here I need to go and populate this text property. This text property needs to be equal to the value that user is entering on the screen. So from my screen component, I do have the post message. This is the property that we have declared to accept the input. So here I am putting that post message. Now the next property that I need to get added here is the share media category, and the value for this is going to be the none. So here I go and populate the share media category as well. So here I go expand this. This time I am selecting the share media category, and this should be equal to none. The next thing that I need to go and populate here is the visibility, and the visibility we have to go and set that as a public. So here again I'm navigating to the variable, opening the request, expanding the visibility, and here I am setting this value as the public. This is how what we have done. We have prepared the request by populating all those details one after the other. Now here again, if I go and close this, I believe I have done everything what needs to be done. I am taking the values, doing the error handling as well, checking whether the response is successful or not, and in case the response is successful, I am taking the next step and also showing the success message as well. Let me go and save this, and here I am putting that LinkedIn post flow and clicking on save. Let's go and debug this first to validate whether it is coming up as expected or not, and after that we will go and activate this. So here I am clicking on this debug to do the validation. And clicking on run. Here I am posting the message, welcome to learn integration on tech journey with Ankit. And here if I go and click on post, let's validate whether everything is working as expected or not. or what kind of response code that we are getting. Here you can see that my operation here is successful, and my body is also prepared with the details that I have passed, so that is also fine. And after that, my post operation is also successful. I can say it is successful because the response code is 201, and here also I am getting the successful message as well. So let me go and finish this, and we will get this added flow added on our home page so that the users can access it frequently. So I'm making this as an activated here, going back and making this flow available on the home page. I do request you folks, if in case you want to expand your learning on the flows, and by doing the integration as well, do try this out because there are lots of learning in this particular tutorial. I also spend good amount of time so that I can also get maximum to you folks on this post. I hope you will like this video as well, because there are very few videos available on the web which is showing you how to use the get as well as the post callouts in a one single flow so that you can make the integrations. Okay, so let me go back. Here I am launching any of the app. I do have my app, the name of, or let me do this on the sales app. That's completely fine. I'm navigating to the home page and adding that particular component on the home page so that my sales reps can access it effectively. So here I go, click on the edit page, and how to add the flow. It's very simple to add the flow. You simply have to drag the flow from here, and sorry, you can simply drag and drop the flow and select the flow that we have just created. So we have created the flow with the name of LinkedIn post flow. So this is the flow that we have created. Here I go and click on save, and let me go back, and here you can see that my flow is available here so that my sales reps can post the message on the LinkedIn without logging in onto the LinkedIn app. So I hope you folks got some new learning from this tutorial where I tried to explain how you can integrate two external systems using the flow without writing a single line of a code. What I tried to done here is I tried to explore the documentation, and I do request you folks, whenever you guys will be practicing this video, make sure that you guys are also going over the documentation, because the best way to learn the integration here is to understand the documentation. Every integration is a unique experience, but once you get familiar yourself with the documentation, then writing down the integration is quite easy. I hope you like this video. Do let me know in the comment section what all different things that you have liked in this video. And whenever you are posting any message by watching this video, do tag me on the LinkedIn post as well, so that I will also know that you guys are following the video and learning something new. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye bye.